no journalists, no American or UK elected officials, no relatives anymore. And then shortly thereafter, the first massacre occurred. The massacre occurred virtually in the presence of United States military forces who were ordered not to intervene and not to act. What did we do? Well, the State Department issued a strong condemnation. A year later, Secretary Clinton, who I have the utmost respect and admiration for, condemned the death sentences being carried out in Iran against people who had the temerity to visit their relatives at Camp Ashraf. Death sentences, public executions. And then the massacre in 2011 occurred. Again, U.S. military were ordered to withdraw from the scene. We didn't even provide quick medical care when we had the ability to do so. Now, what was our answer, what was our response to the massacre of 2011? We issued a strong message of condemnation. At a congressional hearing in July, a State Department official by the name of Mr. Feltman was asked what America's response was going to be to this latest massacre. And he said, well, we issued a message of condemnation. And he said, we're trying to find a way to protect the residents of Camp Ashraf, but we have to recognize Iraqi sovereignty. Well, messages of condemnation aren't enough. That's not what 4,500 Americans gave their lives up for in Iraq and Afghanistan. That's not what our country spent billions and billions of our own dollars at a time when we could be using that for so many things that we need to do in the United States. That's not what we gave that money for. That's not what we gave the treasure of our young men and women for. We gave it because we were going to protect democracy. We were going to bring democracy to Iraq. We were going to bring freedom and human rights to Iraq. Messages of condemnation just won't cut it. And now, the leading State Department official, the ambassador, says we're favoring a plan to relocate the residents in other parts of Iraq. A plan that everyone who knows anything about what's going on in Iraq says is dangerous, is foolhardy, is a prescription for disaster. It simply isn't enough. You know, people say that the issue of what's going to happen to the residents is separate and apart from whether we should lift the terrorist designation on the MEK.